Hello guys, Brandon Carey here, and today I figured we'd do something a little bit different than the usual. Um, so, given world events, uh, you know, with COVID still ravaging the planet, as it were, I figured it would be fun if just for once we could be on the winning side of this conflict between man and disease. So I figured let's pop in Plague Inc. And for those of you who don't understand the terrible joke in what I just said, Plague Inc. is a game where you play as a deadly disease whose goal is to infect and kill the entire world population. Now, I didn't really have any plans for what we were going to do, but I figured we could go through either just a regular game or maybe one of the custom scenarios and see what happens. Like, oh, they made a, oh, they made a fake news module. From wild conspiracy theories to election campaign mudslinging, we now live in a post-world fact world where false information can be spread just like a disease. Okay, so this is infecting the entire world with fake news. Hey, Witty! That is interesting. Huh. A little prescient, but I guess we could try the fake news module. On normal difficulty. Fake Gate. That's a good name for propaganda. Fake news, misinformation, false, whatever you want. You are going to deceive the world and make them believe it anyway. Choose only one person is deceived right now, but a plausible, viable narrative and some coming facts will soon change that. No, not Corona. This time we're spreading fake news, but if we have time, we will probably start spreading some COVID-19. Head to the fake news page to finish defining what fake it is, otherwise I won't be able to begin spreading. Alright, so, oh, my coughing. Ah, gotcha. So the way this game works is that as you infect countries, you get DNA points, which you can use to evolve your disease and make it stronger. Virality, plausibility, community. So we get to choose which brand of fake news we start off with. Sure, we'll do history fake news, I guess. And we'll figure out how it starts. I like the... Okay, clearly these guys are taking the piss out of some of this, and I kind of appreciate it. Started by kittens. Baby cat, which many are needs, especially cute and older than 6 months. Started by the Illuminati. Okay, there's some fun going here. We'll have our information started by fascists. Sure. And what is his motivation? Fame, financial gain, chaos, boredom, trolling. Oh, the most... Let's do the one that's probably... Let's... So we've got fake news, motivated by trolling. Historical fake news, motivated by trolling, started by fascists. And we will blame... The Illuminati. Sure, we'll blame the Illuminati. Let's see what our growth power potentials are. Pass on my communication verbally. Okay, so let's see how this module is. This is curious. Our manifesto is complete. History, fake news, motivation, trolling started by fascists blaming the Illuminati. Let's see how this grows. Apparently they worked with some independent journalists to improve the accuracy of the model for this module. So I'm curious how this is going to go out. Because our goal at this point is to infect the world with fake news. Deceived or informed. Interesting. Accusation of bias. Okay, so plausibility means people are likely to believe it as opposed to ignoring it. Like, it's just some nonsense. This is interesting. This is an interesting little module. Internet. Social media presence. And a botnet. Oh, bot networks reduce plausibility. Oh. But it's spreading. Damn! God damn, that happened quickly! Let's add some influencers into the mix. We need to make this more plausible, otherwise people aren't going to believe it. Got a lot of informed people out there, but we need more. We need to make it more plausible. This is a fascinating module for this game. Also, it's a fascinating game in general. If you haven't played Plague Inc., you should give it a go. Like it's there's a lot of really cool stuff you can do in this engine. Unbiased coverage allows them to speak unchallenged. Oh, damn! Oh, damn! This is a hell of a way to start a stream. Good lord. Getting a lot of informed people out there. I don't like this ratio. Well, I guess this is probably true to life. Like, most people don't believe this kind of shit when they hear it, but... But then the people who do believe it fervently because they're deceived. People are falling to disinformation faster. Gotta up that plausibility. I also like that, there's this huge swath of people who just don't know it. So, like, there's the informed populace that outranks the deceived populace, but that doesn't stop. Like, there's still a bunch of people who you could tell this to and no one know what you're talking about because that's crazy. This is very interesting simulation. But like, even aside from this particular mode, this is a general, like, it's a fairly normal loop in Plague Inc. where as your disease spreads, you get more DNA points that you can use to change its properties and make it harder for people to cure it. I see the deceived is growing even more than the informed, and that is a good sign. This is more of a teaching tool, I guess, than an actual, like, module, in a way. Like, teaching people the methods for how disinformation gets spread. They've been doing a lot of really cool stuff with Plague Inc. over the past couple of years as they've responded to the world at large and how the world at large has reacted to things like deadly disease. Radio targeting. Like, they've also made a new game recently that's about curing a disease as opposed to, causing it. Oh, community increases how fast the information spread as a whole. Interesting. Oh no, people are getting informed. That's bad for us. Better increase the plausibility of our misinformation. Oh, I understand. I realize it's not DNA points. These are funds. Like, we are literally, like, using money to spread lies. Oh, that's fascinating. This is an interesting, like, little educational piece. I wonder, there must be something that inspired this. Like, you know, it's probably 2016 election. Given, you know, the whole fake news thing. Use memes. But it is amazing what you can, like, how these tools can be used to simulate not just like how diseases spread, but also like how anything could spread, because it's just the simulation under the hood. That's really... And if you look at the modding community, you need to understand how and where fake game organizing is working to actively disprove it. Okay. So that's what our community needs. I guess our community is our resistance to being cured. Guys, this is ultimately also a game, so there needs to be a win or a lost state. Fact checkers making good progress. Oh, okay. So there's a whole tab of adaptability traits that I have missed for this. So we're probably gonna lose, but this has still been a cool experiment. A cure for fake news. Man, don't I wish. Don't I fucking wish. You just heaved 1 billion people. Holy shit. Need a few more points and then we can set back the fact checkers. We're not going to be able to slow them. Oh, there we go. That was what we need. That should help. Expanding the victim lists. Oh, we might actually be in a good position now. Oh, that's interesting. Fake news can cost lives. Has named Hestes one of the. Oh, that's just a real. That probably is a real life fact, actually. Oh, this must have been made during COVID times. Fake news can kill people by making them make bad decisions. This is really fascinating. Oh, the fact-checking has been halted. But it is slow. It is growing again. So this is the way the mod works, that you can't. Once he's over half the world, will be unstoppable. Oh wow. Okay. I think we might actually win this in that case. Or we've dealt with all the plausibility stuff at period, so. Trigger moral panic. Oh, wow. Provoke authorities. Unpopular opposition. Fund opposition. Oh wow. Oh damn, this is scathing. I think we're almost at the halfway point. There are more deceived than informed people in the world. Holy shit. And begins to spread unchecked. in politics, lies are just facts that haven't been repeated enough yet. Oh, man. It's just overtaking the informed people as they give up. Wow, holy shit. That's, nothing can be trusted anymore. Oh, wow, this is probably made in response to the Trump era? But, God, that hurts. I got an achievement for that. Filter bubble. Beat the fake news scenario in normal. That took a little over a year in simulation time. Well. Ashes, ashes, we all fall down. Fucking hell. That was ominous. Let's do a regular scenario to... Oh yeah, they created a vampire scenario at some point too. That's, let's do the parasite. Actually, no. We'll just do a regular old virus. Do a regular old virus. Let's add some genes in. Can mutate transmissions or abilities. Oh, easier to cure. So this does increase the chance of a mutating period. And we will increase the chance that it spreads by air. We will a minor bonus in all climates. Bonus DNA when devolving. Cost to devolve don't increase. Ability costs don't increase but easier to cure. Just the cost to devolve don't increase. So we can keep. But let us proceed with this, and we will call this COVID-19. You're a new virus. To win, you must evolve and spread across the world like all humans in the ultimate plague. Let's see if we can do better than the actual coronavirus. Now, if memory serves, it started in a U.S. military base in China. So we'll see if we can beat actual COVID-19. We will need, you'll need the spread first. This is the beginning of the game. Where's the fast forward button? This should speed things up a bit. And now we can eventually we'll be able to start evolving traits which will help us spread. And this is a normal scenario of the game. This is how the game is played normally. It runs a simulation based on the traits your disease has, and based on those traits, it's given an infectivity, severity, and lethality rating. Now, our goal is in this normal scenario to both infect and then eliminate the world population, which kind of goes into phases. The first phase is like gradually increasing our infectivity so that we can start spreading to as many people as we can, and then once we've gotten into a threshold, once our disease is severe enough, because a lot of infectious traits also increase the severity, which is how bad people think the virus actually is. Once our disease is severe enough, then the world's population will start to research a cure for it. And our goal is more or less to kill off and worsen the disease faster, or faster than they can cure it, but not so fast that it kills off all of its hosts before infecting the world population. So we have to control as much as we can the spread of disease and its infectivity and lethality, so that it infects faster than the world can keep up with, but not so fast that it wipes out all of its hosts before it can spread and dies off just by having no one to spread to. Since we have enough DNA points, you can start introducing transmission vectors that will raise the infectivity of our disease. Now, normally I would start off in Madagascar or one of these areas, because there's only one way to get into Madagascar, and that's by port. There's no airports in this area. So starting there means you don't have to worry about trying to get your way into Madagascar later. But for this purpose, we're going to try to recreate the starting conditions, at least, of the coronavirus, and see if we can do better than the virus did itself. And obviously, as people get infected, there's a cascading effect where once you get enough infected people out there, just them going out in the world and doing things will eventually cause the disease to spread. We will give it waterborne capabilities and airborne abilities. And that just will make it spread a little faster. And once it infects a new country for the first time, you get a DNA points bonus. And we can also use our DNA points not just to add symptoms in, but also to suppress them, so that the disease is less severe and its chance of discovery goes down. Its chance of getting researched goes down. Because a disease that infects people doesn't actually do anything to them, is less likely to be researched than a more deadly disease. So we will infect livestock, and that'll let the disease be spread by livestock. in every one of these countries is one more vector for the disease to spread. And and obviously as we pop these red infection balloons, as more countries fall to us, we get more DNA points, which we can use to spread the infectivity, or increase the infectivity. See, now we're starting to reach a point where it's starting to... Once you affect enough people, that starts to really explode. And now we might need to start adding some resistances at some point, like resistance to cold, to drugs, and to heat, to give ourselves a higher chance of spreading. Now it's time to start adding some resistances in, like to drugs, so that countries with healthcare still, like, they don't get that Oh, I didn't think out what I was doing before I started the scenario. In normal checkup, a doctor and found a disease which has unique COVID-19 appears here as the harmers, but this must be investigated further. Okay, so people are now reporting the disease. We'll give it cold resistance, or heat resistance, then we'll give it cold resistance next. You see, no one has died from the disease yet, but eventually, over time, it will start to develop symptoms. And that's something that we can't really help. Like, that's the... See, now they're funding research into the disease, and we haven't killed anyone yet. Now the Olympics, that was a special event. I'm gonna stop the simulation for a second, and global climate is especially vulnerable. No one's died yet, which is good, because once people start dying to the disease, funding starts being allocated to resolving it. At this point, I'm going to start keeping some DNA points in reserve, so that we don't get into a point where we can't turn off a lethal symptom. Because if we don't, and people start dying to COVID-19 early on, that could be a problem for us. Because of the traits I've chosen to start the game, all of my devolve costs are 3 DNA points. The sneezing symptom. Still not lethal, so all good. And the sneezing does also boost our infectivity. So we can keep it for now. And our goal right now is to make Our goal right now is to at least try to hit every country. So far we've infected half the world, so far so good. And now we have some... Oh, cysts are still not lethal. So far we have no lethal symptoms. So far so good. We'll increase its cold resistance. God damn. We'll reduce the heat resistance too. Because with heat resistance, we can start spreading a little more. Okay, now we're starting to impose quarantines. Hypersensitivity. Still not lethal. Rich regions are vulnerable. We haven't got anyone in Greenland yet, which is bad. We do want to hit Greenland, and once we hit Greenland, we will probably be mostly okay. Environmental hardening is a good trait to have right now. There we go. That's our Greenland infection. Are there any countries that are uninfected? One year and 109 days till completion. Morocco is still healthy, so pulmonary. Okay, that's lethal. We need to deal with that now. At least for now. Until we've spread infection. Oh god, that was fast. Paralysis is potentially lethal. So we will devolve that for now as well. Whole world. I think at this point we can start killing off the population. Let's start increasing our mutation odds and lowering research speed. And then we'll start increasing our symptoms. And that should hopefully allow random chance to start taking care of the rest. Starting to develop symptoms of that on its own. The coma symptom. Well, now all the doctors in the world are infected, so the idea is hopefully that we start killing off people. We need to really speed up this lethality factor. Because if this will all be for naught if people research a cure. There we go. And at this point, it's only a matter of time.
337 for Bravo Fox Bravo.
Because people can't research a cure if they're dead, of course. And total organ failure should cement the deal. There are a lot of symptoms. And with that, there are not enough people to research a cure, so just watch the numbers drop. And with that, COVID-19, I guess, has successfully eliminated all of the Earth. Yeah, that's a little gauche to send out on social media, but I appreciate the thought game. I'm not that kind of guy. Although that, currently, I just say to ourselves we've done better or worse because we did infect all of the world, but, it took us a whole year to do it. It took us a whole year and a half to do it. So we officially did a better job. Well, we did at least infecting people than coronavirus did. Pride in that, I guess. But now that we've done the main scenario, we can probably look at some of the custom scenarios. See what, kind of fun things we've got. What's new? What's new in the... Okay. There's a lot of COVID-19. An architect with a hive mind, bent on destroying the world. See, this is actually part of the cool part of the game is that there are a ton of interesting scenarios that you can pick through. Okay, let's... Is there a filter option? Let's go for the most popular then. Alien hive mind. Draw a group of heroes in epic journey. Huh. Nanovirus. A super soldier virus that turns into that turns people into zombies. Huh. Let's do the alien hive mind. That seems interesting. I was probably looks like what I've subscribed to. Alien blood. Well, that's Let's see, what do we do? Cabin destroyer of wallets. Oh, that must have been back in college when I did that. It came from the sky. Let's try this. An intelligent species of creatures from the Alpha Centauri system. Your leader should assign you to wipe out the human race and make way for your species. Failure may result in your death. Genetically enhanced parasites capable of morphing into 3 distinct forms of Zeophores. I don't know what those words mean. Well, let's try it. Oh, that was fast. And then the bloodstream is therefore more effective. More effective, but more likely to be spotted. And therefore more infective. What? Well, I can't progress. Okay, there we go. So now that we have... This is an interesting scenario. What was the point in making that a 500? Why not just make it 0 for the first choice, since you're gonna give us the point anyway? That's so that's a weird decision. Huh. I mean, I guess that's the good and bad part about custom scenarios, is that you can do a lot of cool stuff, but they're also custom scenarios, so like make... Also makes it harder to gauge the quality. How much do I need to... 52 to get that... Oh wow, holy shit. Alright, livestock can spread. I imagine there's also like trees that are hidden for all of the other parasite types. Because really, at the end of the day, this game is less... This is kind of... All it is a simulation. A simulation that runs off a set of rules that are based loosely on how real life diseases spread. And so, you can use that system, the simulation, and in all sorts of creative ways. And that's part of the charm of this game, is the ability to make it like custom, like make it your own scenario and then throw it out there and see what happens. And see how the simulation responds to that scenario. Like doctors have, like, this is one of those, like, games that doctors, real life doctors, have used to study, or I guess they've also worked with doctors to use this to study how diseases spread in real life. And I find that very interesting. And that's what that's where the charm of this game comes, is from its ability to simulate the spread of a disease and then use that simulation to build fun and interesting scenarios out of that. Because it is actually, like, there's a, like, even, like, COVID kind of... I guess this game actually got more popular when COVID started spreading, so... I don't know if I want to say COVID took from the charm of this game, because I'm not sure that's entirely true. But this does definitely feel different in an era where we do have an actual real-life disease that is spreading like wildfire, mostly because people don't want to do anything about it. But you can also take this and, like, what if there was a vampire plague? Or what if there was a lycanthropy disease spreading? How would that look like? How could we make... How could that look like? And then just run the simulation and modify a few variables and see what happens. That's a really cool idea. Let me speed up the simulation. There we go. The vomiting symptom. Oh. And this is just one of the different scenario types. Like, people have made like a symbiote disease, which is one of my personal favorites, obviously, because I'm a Venom stan. Or a disease that turns people into furries, or like all sorts of different things. Do a random drop into 3 countries. That's useful. Okay, we need to rein that in a little bit, actually. That could start killing people, and that's a no-no. This early on in the game, a disease that kills people this early on is bad. That's what, yeah, that's what we want to do. We want to keep our infection rates at low, at least for the time being. And then we can consider or not our infection rate, our lethality rate's low. And then once we start spreading a little bit, then we can deal with it. So far, so good. And it looks like we're getting close to time, but I'm going to finish this scenario out, so if this takes a little longer to go through, then it takes longer to go through. It's not a big deal. Now it's starting to spread very nicely. This is what I want to see. I want to see the spread. Alright, that's the infectivity. Pretty much looks like maxed out for the most part until we start evolving symptoms. But now we're starting to see that exponential growth in infection, which is what you want to see ideally. We're starting to taper off, and I don't like that. No, we can't start killing people yet. Not yet. Should probably consider doing a high difficulty next time to make this a little harder. The frustrating part of these choke points. We got the US. Is there any country that hasn't been infected yet? Quite a few, actually. All here in this area of the world. And in the Caribbean as well. I guess these are off limits. Let's add some heat resistance as well. And that should help with this area. At a point where I don't really need to worry too. I think I need to worry too much about deaths. We're almost at that point where we can see how we can go. Because we're starting to see a cure getting researched, and that's not good. Caribbean and Spain are the last two to be infected. The last two that haven't been infected yet. That's Spain. Let's see if we can start to deal some damage. Okay, we've now hit everywhere. Which means now it's time to start adding symptoms. Oh! Yeah, that would do it. dysentery. We're not quite at a point in these areas where we can rest on our laurels, so let us develop some cold resistance. That should increase the spread. Oh no!
337 for Bravo Fox Papa.
People aren't getting infected. That's a problem. I think we might have lost. I tend to lose a lot of these custom scenarios, but that's fine. Yeah, I think we lost this game, but that's alright. Yeah, they've developed a cure, which means it's game over. Oh well. We lost. But that could have been a lot worse. I think at this point you have an idea of what Plague Inc. is all about, and I'm happy to have streamed it today. Hopefully next week I'll have another cool idea going. Or I'll just play some more Legends of Runeterra. But don't forget, on Sunday we will begin streaming Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time. And remember to, especially in the context of this video, wear a mask, social distance, wash your hands, and remember, of course, that Black Lives Matter and that all lives cannot matter until Black Lives Matter. So until next time, have a great evening, guys.